Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I am here. I am to be feared. And I was just way into season 3 of this flippin' show. Guys. Has anyone heard of Dragula? Because it's so good. Alright, hey, there is in fact a black hole here. Yes, as we can see, 488,000 light years from galactic core. I've tried my best to make some progress here. First thing we're doing on this stream, though, is onto the space anomaly, because I haven't done that yet. Since beating the main story, I have not yet spoken to Nada and Braskin. Braskell. Whatever the other one's name is. Because they don't make you talk to him nearly as much. Polo. There we go, Polo. Nada and Polo. Oh, but I don't really have any new stuff done in this game from the last time I streamed, unfortunately. Which, you know, is for the same reason that I didn't stream on Friday, which I'm sorry about. And that is, I had sort of a personal thing that I really had to deal with, and that took a couple of days, you know, that took some time. I wasn't at my house the entire time. I was somewhere else. So I was like away from, you know, my whole streaming setup. But yeah, that is taken care of now, at least for the moment. And I am back streaming. Let us speaketh with priest entity Nada. Is it first? Is it last? Welcome regardless. Traveler entity is always welcome aboard our home. If you have something to tell me, Traveler entity, Nada chooses not to hear. You are welcome aboard our home. Leave Nada in peace. You have spoken to Nada? Joy! New arrivals, new friends. Do not speak, friend. Nada tells me. It is first, it is last. So it goes. Some things I do not want to discover. Okay. So I guess that's all I've... This is all I have to do, be done, to do done. Be-do? Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a goof. What a goof! Well, first off, I've been really curious. I've been curious about these Nexus missions. No? Do I look up at you? Ah, I look up at you. Let me see. Hunt dangerous pirates. I get 1 drop coordinates and 450 quicksilver. Organized crew of pirates has been causing havoc in a nearby star system, claiming none can defeat them in space combat. Polo and Nada, studying both the motivations and mettle of their traveler friends, require an armed squadron to confront these arrogant outlaws and challenge their boastful claims. Huh. Dude, someone else just joined. Ooh, I'm in a group. This should be fun. Let's see. Oh my god. Hold on, I didn't realize I had to get out of the space station. Oh, Jesus, and I'm being warped. Alright, well, I should be able to take the space station back to that system. You know, use the teleport network. But yeah, right now I'm just, you know, trying to pick up a little extra quicksilver, you know, just trying to get that living egg. I've got all the quicksilver I've been given throughout the main story, so I've got about 1,300. And apparently you only get about 1 mission a day from the Nexus that'll give you quicksilver, so it's like, you know, if I just do those missions every day, I should have that living ship in under a week. Shouldn't be too hard. Hey, there's another player. Days of Friendly. Oh, they're playing on computer. Oh, alright. I'm already getting a little confused. Are there more? Did we win? Hostile ships approaching. Suck it! God, I love the Infra Knife, man. It's so good. It's like, why even use anything else? I really haven't had to worry about it overheating at all. It's just chews through everything. Get rodeoed. This is good for my Gek standing too. I need good Gek standing after all that, you know, Gek piracy I was doing. They use the light of the star as cover. That's called the Gandalf tactic. Because, you know, only Gandalf has done that. And only in a fiction. That's not a real military tactic. Whoop. Oh, I'm taking hits. Ooh. Got him. Hell yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Pirates never stood a chance. Never stood a chance. Let's see where the hell I am exactly. Oh, good. Back to 714,000 light years from center. Well, good thing I'm getting the hell out of here. I gotta continue my journey to core, baby. Why, hello. What a nice space station you have. Fortunately, I've seen like 10,000 just like it. You sell chlorine or what? Oh, so close. You sell desalt. Desalt. Looks like platinum's also worth a fuck ton. Close to the amount that chlorine is worth, it looks like. That might be a good one. But cobalt's easier to get. You know. Magulknotten Station. And I wish you put a little symbol on the space station if that was the system that your freighter was in. Because that would be a really good way to get back to where I was. So I left my freighter there. I've been to a lot of space stations now. Hang on, is this in order? Oh yeah, dude, good, it's in this menu. So I need to go to Dagadan. I need to hit up Dagadan Station. Okay, well... It doesn't seem to be giving me the option to go there. Which is upsetting me. It's got an economy, a dominant life form, so it should have a space station that I should be able to teleport to. Am I just missing it? Am I just being blind? Huh. Oh. There's a bunch of space stations here that I don't recognize, too. Like, it's been picking up space stations as I've been jumping around the flippin' galaxy. It just doesn't have the space station listed that I want to go back to. Unless it's not named after the system that it's in. Like all the other ones are. Here, let me just warp to this one. Wait, what? Oh, am I not done with this mission? Oh. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Hey, you know what? I'm not fully stupid. This isn't my fault. I haven't done this before. And if I'm lucky, this will also put me back where I started, which would just be thrilling. I've done it. I have returned. Do I talk to the Nexus? Or do I talk to one of them? I talk to the Nexus. Hello, Nexus. There you go, complete mission. No. Excuse me, I'm trying to complete a mission. I did it! I completed my first Nexus mission. Oh wait, no, there's just another one. There's another one I can do now. Terrestrial homes. Construct an outpost? Oh god, that's so easy. Raid a planetary depot. God, that gets me 3 salvage data. Oh no. Foe of my foe, rescue stranded life form. That gives me a factory override unit, dude. Holy shit. Alright, that's really cool and all. But I have completed that quest. Now I desperately want to see if I'm back where I started, or if I'm just gonna be in this random ass side of the galaxy and I have to. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh, I think it's porting me back. Oh, please, God, yes, and thank you. You have no idea the good you're doing right now. I swear I spent, it felt like, I don't know. Okay, so I'm doing this pattern to move towards the core of like going through a black hole and then using my freighter to do a jump towards the core. And the reason I'm using my freighter is because my flippin' freighter, I have all the hyperdrive or whatever boosts on it. I have all that stuff. So my freighter has like a 3,000 light year jump distance. Ah! I'm back in Dagadon, I did it. There's the black hole. And there's the space station that it wasn't letting me teleport to. So let's just fly into that and see what the flippin' deal with that was. Hey look, there's my frigate, or my freighter. Ah. I'm so bad with those words. Like, do I have to land on these space stations before I can teleport from them? Let's see, I've got the previous system on here. Yeah, maybe I have to come onto these space stations before it shows up. Because, yeah, I don't know. Well, it's here now. Okay, and the other thing I was gonna do... I want to do this to make sure... I'm gonna change the name of this. Oop. We've got Deep Space 1. Oh, wow. I didn't see that I did 3 E's. Oh, that's just wonderful. I'm so happy with that. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. So I can definitely get back here now. I've named it, you know, I'm teleporting from this space station, so I'll definitely be able to come back here. Let me go do the... Oh, wait. Wait, why is it there? No, we're doing here. I'm gonna use this base computer, because that's the one I've been using. Like, how dare this thing? Try to change what base I'm doing my computer access from. It's very dark right now. That's okay. Oh, don't start doing this to me. Ugh. Alright, you know what? Fine. I don't know why it's making me do this. That was kind of crazy, camera. I don't know why it's suddenly making me do this after all this time. Like, I suddenly have to go back to the first base computer that it made me build. You know, I'm not gonna lie, at some point I might just delete this base. Here we are, Wash Fork. This is, of course, where we wash our forks. Apparently I have a minor settlement to look at over there. Let's see. Whoa. Whoa, what? I think it's about to send me somewhere I've never been. I mean, at least that seems to be the implication. Wait, am I... Okay, yeah, I'm on the right mission. What the shite? Where do I need to go? Oh, wow, yeah, that is somewhere I haven't been. Vaychek 9. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, all my shit's broken. Because I've been flying through black holes. The only two technologies I have in breakable slots are my economy and conflict scanner. And I was fixing them every time they broke, but then I sort of realized that, like, I'm gonna be going through, like, a lot of black holes. So I might as well just leave these two things broken. I'm not really actively using them. You know, I might as well leave them broken until I'm done. So, they're still broken. Two planets, one moon. Alright, well there's one of the planets. Where the fuck is it trying to say the space station is? Jesus. Alright, let's look around on the other axis. Alright, is that... hang on, are you a planet or a moon? Shh. You are the other planet. What kind of planet are you, though? Oh, it's a noxious planet. Yeah, that sounds right. I believe you're the one that has the moon. You look like frozen as shit. Yeah, glacial planet. Ooh, fun. Moon must be around the other side right now. Well, that's awfully weird looking. You got a magma moon. Got a magma moon sitting over a glacial planet, and the planet it's... hang on. I'm sorry. I have to enter the atmosphere first, right where it's the ring is meeting with the planet. Oh, wow. Oh, wowzers. That is clear. Oops. That is clearly not designed to process this happening. Like, graphically. Like, it clearly doesn't know how to handle it. And I don't blame it. This is weird. That is very strange right there. But I had to fly down there and experience what it was like on the planet's surface. Oh, am I still in the planet's atmosphere? Does it have an atmosphere? Because I'm still going really fast. Ka-chunk! Oh, good whispering eggs. $137 Fahrenheit. Ooh. Damn, that would have been nice when I was looking for one of those. But right now it'll just be nanites. Got a data pad here. Can I interact with the data pad? Is it a Degasi crew log? I can only hope. I've reached the location. It awaits my input. Let's read some more crazy shit about the glass world. They'd captured my friend. I saw them from a distance, the family of glass in all their majesty, cradling the fallen sentinel, its light flickering in their awful embrace. I let out an involuntary cry as they cut into its exoskeleton, and each vacant stare, each grin of malice turned to me. I fled, but it was no use. They numbered in the hundreds. They found me. I feel like I've read that one before. Aww. Don't tell me I've, like, been done with this and I just didn't know. Little crab dude is fast. Alright, this thing's being really weird. Dude. They look pretty cool, though. These aminals. Oh, there's one of those. For a magma planet with such a high temperature, there are just like a lot of different creatures just like right around here. I haven't even looked for like flying anything yet. Uh-oh. Oh, and there's a sentinel right there, too. There was just a house on my map, and now it's gone. Alright, whatever. Hello there, rings. Alright, let's head to the space station and get the F out of here. Technology recharged. Oh, if only it were that easy. If only my phone had like a little battery port on the bottom of it, and I could just open it up and like shove some carbon in there. I'd be like, hey man, I have carbon, alright? I got a little home deep fryer in the kitchen. I bet that's got plenty of carbon buildup in it. I'll just strain the oil. And I've got all this nasty ass carbon I can shove into my phone. Man, I wish I could just turn these quests off for a hot second. Cause like, there we go, I'll do that one. It'll just keep telling me to get on the Nexus. Get up onto that Nexus. Hot, hut, do better. Get up onto that Nexus. Schnoa. Let's see, yeah. Deep Space One Station Alpha. Deep Space One Station Alpha. That's what I'm talking about. If it doesn't have 3 E's on it, it ain't deep enough. Hello. Hello, Trading Eye. Galactic Trade Eye. No, you do not have what I seek. Ah, get over the railing. Got stuck on the railing there for a second. We're all good though. What is that section of the sky over there? Oh, there's other sections like that, I guess. Here I come, baby! Get up off of that thing. Ha! That's us. Do better. Ha! Yeah, yeah. Ha, ha. I should actually know that song. I don't know why I brought it up. Just to show that I don't know it and embarrass myself, I guess. Alright. Man, I went the past 2 days without coffee. Sleeping on a couch, man. Even comfortable couches, dude, they just don't cut it anymore. Ooh, that's one that's not mine. Uh-oh, gotta save some marked fools. I was about to say, I will not be outmaneuvered by a by a hauler. What was that? What was that attempt? Bruh, you're in a hauler, bro. Why are you a pirate? What are you doing? Yeah, he wants me on his ship. Yo, dog. Warning. Warning. Navigational data. Watch that shit. Check it. Check it out. Alright, here we go. Jetpack. Man, what was the name of that, like, 50s superhero guy with the jetpack? That was, like, his whole deal, was, like, he had a jetpack. Didn't have, like, superpowers or anything like that. Just a totally normal dude. Wasn't, like, a martial arts expert. He was just a dude fighting crime because he had a jetpack. That's what I remember, anyway. Dude, I'm curious about the freighter. Oh, yeah. See, it's a good one. Got A-class. Fat Boy 34 slots. What can I say? It's some good shit. I'm gonna decline it, though, because I just have a better version of that already. That I've dumped a lot of time into upgrading. So you can give me some of that chromatic metal instead. Habuyaka. I'll never turn down a little chromatic metal. Well, maybe I will eventually. I probably won't care about it eventually, but right now, I'll still take it. I'll still take it. Ow. Thought that might happen. Alright. Here's what we do. We call this in. Hello. yeah, hang on, I have a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, I do. I had no idea I had so much stuff, actually. I'm clearly not paying attention here. Alright. This is keep. Salvage data keep. Anything else, though? Oh, yeah. Hey, I thought it said I was gonna get 2 of these. Whatever. I'll keep that, too. Maybe it actually leads to something good. Who knows? We'll see. I mean, unless it's unless the only thing a drop pod does is expand your exosuit inventory, in which case, shit out of luck. Unless I can use that to expand technology slots beyond its current, like, limitations, because that's not just, like, a thing I'm paying for. That's like a drop that I have to find coordinates for. Okay, I think, besides the microprocessor wiring looms, I think all this other stuff is getting sold. Yeah. Well, maybe not the chromatic metal. Throw that on my starship. And, yeah, I don't know about some of this stuff either. The Vy'keen tablet. Communion of Herc. Anomalous data unit. I don't know what these are for, if anything. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to need any more Hearts of the Sun. We'll also see. Yeah, we'll see about a lot of that stuff. Mostly because I don't know what any of it does. I have not been given a clue. Alright, since I'm not using these right now, let's put them away. This shit, you know, it costs money. I had to buy those wiring looms. Clumps. I like clumps. Moving stuff around for no reason, that's what I do. Wait. Ugh, I've made the classic mistake. Well, now I'm really making mistakes. That's a classic mistake right there. Just colliding your 2 ships together multiple times. Alright, now this is honestly one of my favorite parts. I mean, besides going through the black hole, which I enjoy. It doesn't usually lead to me defending a giant star freighter from pirates, but sometimes it does. And that's just the risk you take in space. Okay, so I have fuel. So yeah, then I just sort of go into free mode and start flying towards the core. We're about 1,000 light years away. Or further. 1,500. So once I pass 2,000, right? So about here. Now I'm going to start looking for a black hole system. And there's several that just popped up. Let's see if we can get to this one. Oh, man. Just barely. case you're wondering, my jump distance in this thing is about 3,097, I think. So this is like hairs under my max jump distance. But there's a black hole there, so let's go. Let's do it, do it, do it! Yeah, black hole discovered. Oh, I do so much running on this spaceship. Oh, God. There we go. Fuck your space station, motherfucker. Whoa. Oh, guys. Guys. You're a little close to that, don't you think? Whoa. Dude, that one frigate was, like, right next to it. Oh, fuck. He's just like, this is chill. This is alright. No serious physics bending anomalies here. No way being actually close to a black hole would, you know, stretch me apart into metal noodles before pulling my atoms apart and eventually reducing them down into quarks. Possibly smaller, I don't know. Black hole warp successful. Daddy. Oh. Man, that ain't supposed to do that, I'm pretty sure. So man, not too long ago, I actually got to experience this game, like what it looks like in 4K. And I gotta say, I'm not impressed. Not with the way it looked, but with 4K. I was fully not impressed. I could not see a difference. And I'm not gonna lie, that's actually not true. There's only one difference I could see. And the difference that I could see was that moving the camera around was a little smoother. It was like it didn't have as much motion blur. But that was it. I mean, that was like the only difference. And honestly, like, I don't really need that bad. You know? Like, that's not really like that big of a deal to me. It's not like a game breaker or anything. Alright, we're already down to 470. That was after goofing off for a bit, too. Alright, see, we're out of jump range now. So let's look around. No way, that one's going to be way too far up there. Let's back away a bit. Here we go. See how far this is down here. Dense little cluster of stars. Looks like a green star system. Vy'keen. Buccio Struccio, I believe is what that said. I'm almost positive. Alright, so look, stream, here's the deal. You've been taking up the whole slots, all the slots of time that I would normally use to lift weights. So, I've got to figure that out. I got to figure out if I'm going to start getting up really extra early every day so that I can lift weights with my girlfriend asleep on the bed. So that probably won't work. Yeah, so I'll probably just have to start lifting weights after I pick her up from work. Which, you know, that should be fine, theoretically. Let's see. What are you at? 40%. There's a fleet. There's the black hole. There's the space station. Oh, I love systems like this. It's like so close to looking actually normal. Looking for the star. Oh, that's that way. Man, that don't look green. This looks distinctly blue. Oh no, I've lost my way. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Figured it out. Yeah, I was not angled at all like I thought I was. Let's look at you. Activated copper. Yeah, there's actual patch. I like these areas because there's actual patches of the sky where you can see, like, it's black and you can see, like, the little twinkles of stars. Like, what space looks like. You know. Not cloudy. Like, look, you can literally see, like, clouds around me. Like, it's cloudy and there's, like, in some areas, it's like, there's little electrical bits. That was weird. What was my trail doing? Holy shit, dude. They keep packing around these black holes. Why are these... Why? Why are these fleets of... Like, why are these convoys that come in? Like, are they like thrill seekers? Is that what it is? Travel another almost 1,000,000 light years. Ooh, there's some planets here, though. Let's do a couple scans. Oh, come on. I was definitely aimed at the planet when I clicked on that, you buttfucker. Acidic planet. Okay, why? Why did it take it away? I hate it when it does this. It's like, can you just give me the thing, please? Why did it take it away? Oh my god. Why is it so stupid? Alright, see, I thought that was a paradise planet. I suspected as much. This one could also be a paradise planet. Oh no, it's a frostbound planet. Wasn't there another one this way? Yeah. A toxic horror. That's legit. Alright, well I know what I'm here to do technically. I'm gonna get that platinum. And then I'm gonna go visit this paradise planet. I'm always looking for a good paradise planet, man. I want like a really nice one that I could like settle down on. Make like my super base, which is where I'm gonna get like all these much bigger. Oh, good. They're in for a big shocker. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Oh, and I kind of knew how I was oriented. Oh. Am I getting used to full 3D space? Oh man. Is the understanding kicking in? There's another Herox. How much is 5 of those worth? Well, 25k a piece. Develops copper, paraffinium, and magnetized ferrite. Man. How come the nice planets I find always have, like, the most basic shit on them? So now all we need is it to have, like, very, very still weather, because that's the other thing I'm looking for. Like, a nice paradise planet. You know, this one clearly has a whole lot of water, which I like. Very spotty islands all over. But still solid landmass over here, which is nice. Very nice. And here's a nice big bay I think I can see. Oh no, have I been seeing it wrong again? All the blue stuff is land, and that pink stuff I was seeing was water? What the shiticles? How? Every time, I swear. Oh, but hold on, because I really love how this looks. Weather is refreshing breeze, few sentinels, sporadic flora, and generous fauna. What's the temperature? Oh, it's not even bringing up my environmental stuff. That's great. 68.2 degrees. Holy shit. I don't have to use my life support system here. Oh, it's got some of this yellow mixed into the ground, which I love. Oh my goodness. It's got a lot more land than I thought. Not really any oceans, though. Like, even this, like, you can tell, is, like, just a huge lake. Because I can see pretty much all the way around it. I can see the land on the other side. Oh, but it's really beautiful, though. Oh, man, there's not going to be, like, any storms here, either. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm gonna build my base like right up in here, maybe? Maybe just nestled up in here? Aww. It's hard to say, but I want a base somewhere here. I really do. What's the name of this planet? Rakulans. I like it. I actually kind of like that name. Rakulans. Oh shit, are there some cactusy things here? Oh. Oh, it's in an unstable region of space. But oh well. Dude, I don't even care. What do I need to make a base computer? Just 30 chromatic metal. Where shall I place it? Who claims it? It can just be wherever the fuck, so... In fact, they designed it so that it has to be wherever the fuck. Oh, I can't put it up on this rock? Well, then it can't be wherever the fuck. Well, it can be underwater. And now I'm not sure where to put it. Besides outside the grass, I guess. Sure, why not? I'll just nuzzle it right up here. This seems as stupid a place as any other. Claim base, please. I'm not going to do any building right now, but I am claiming this area on this lake. It's a very nice area. And I will come back here later. Now I have a base marker here, basically. Ostaf base. Base too small to upload. No, we're going to rename this. There we go. We're naming it Risa. Yes, that's from Star Trek. That's the vacation planet that's in the Federation. People basically just go there and fuck each other's brains out. Which is pretty awesome. Hang on, what's up with this hole in the ground? What's up with the creepy hole in the ground? Oh, good, it just falls through to the ocean. It's just an underwater cave. My God. I said ocean, but it's not an ocean. So ignore me saying it's an ocean. Yep, there's Risa. Alright, so let's head to the space station. Because it seems like maybe you do have to at least land on a space station before it goes into your portal network. So let's make sure this is in my portal network so I can actually come back here and work on this base later when I want to. Ooh, what do we got here? Most damaged ship. Yeah, here's a metal plate. See you later, brah. See you later, brah. Hope the rest of your day goes well. Man, pretty far away from that space station. What do you need repairs to? Muzza Corvax. Dude, that's like nothing. What did I get? Petrified mollusk tissue. I mean, did I just massively overpay for that petrified mollusk tissue? I mean, it would appear so. But, I'm gonna find a trade post at some point. And I'm gonna trade it. So take that. Here's, like, I'm gonna interact with all this stuff just in case I have to for some reason. Alright, none of the good stuff. Excuse me, Gek brethren. You look like twins. It says it's a great pleasure to converse. And the Gek word for what? Gex scent is alluring, a pleasure to converse. Alright, that was weird. Here you go. Just take these Gek relics that I've been holding on to. I'm officially working on my relationship with the Gek, so... Yep, that was both of those. So let's check on it. I'm curious, actually. Where are we at? Alright, I'm down to competitor. Because I was lower than that in the standing, you know. Let's also go over here and sell, Hostile Gek rank, rival. Yes, I went down a hostile Gek rank, which is good. That's what I want. Let's see here. Sell both of those. Starship. There we go. What you got? Positron module. I do not use the positron ejector, unfortunately. I have the infraknife and I have the photon beam. That's a piece of shit, but it looks like one of the assault rifles from Mass Effect, so it looks really cool. Fortunately, it sucks. And do either of my current multi-tools have full slots? No. Nope. So honestly, I'm not done upgrading them. So this is just for scanning and mining. So basically I'm looking for mining laser bits and scanner bits. Let's see if there's any things on here for mining lasers. Nope. Okay. So mining laser scanner. That's what I'm looking for. What you got for me, baby? Pulse spitter mining beam module. Used to begin upgrading installation process. The module is flexible and exact upgrade statistics are unknown. Power output, heat toleration, and fuel efficiency. Sure. To hell's yeah. Well, she do. Plus 43% heat dispersion, minus 18% overheat downtime, plus 21% fuel efficiency, and plus 19% mining speed. That's all pretty solid, I feel like. That's just me personally. Am I selling anything else? Herox, Thelemium, and magnetized ferrite and the gold. Yeah, I'm gonna sell that stuff. That it? That it. And I gotta check because I gotta check. Do I have anything in this right now? Yes, I do. Oh. I sure flippin' did, man. Alright, so I should definitely be able to come back here now. Hey-o! Hey, 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 yo, yo, yo! My folks is here. You know I love to see it. Magnus in the house. There we go. It's like, you getting off? We continue our adventure towards the center of the galaxy. And those black holes really help, let me tell you. God, if I actually followed that, like, two galactic core line, I feel like it would take me a bajillion years. Here we go. 2,600 light years to, I don't know, some kind of Korvax system. I find it interesting that my freighter, when I'm using my freighter to jump between star systems, it appears to rely on the economy and conflict scanner that are on the starship I'm presently using. And I find that odd, to say the least. I find that strange. That's just me, I don't know, maybe I'm the strange one. Three planets, two moons, one way to die. Oh, so close. Alright, so now we got... There it is. That wasn't too difficult. I always wonder why like video games and stuff don't make black holes look like they actually look like, where the light around them, like everything immediately around them is just warped very strangely, like the light is, and then the black hole in the middle is just pitch black. You know, I just think they look so much cooler like that, and I feel like it should not be difficult to do from a programming perspective. You know, you don't have to have the light from behind it actually warping around, but you know you have access to the data you need to make it look like that's what's happening. You know, you know the background color of the star system you're in. Just pull from that, and then you know how to bend shapes into blobs of light. You know, it'd be not difficult to make it look like that's what was going on. But they never do, and by they I mean anyone who makes space-related stuff. They always have to try to make black holes look crazier than they really look. But what the heck? What in the world? That was weird. Yeah, they always try to make black holes look like, ooh, crazier than they actually look, but that's just like such an unnecessary thing. Black holes look pretty flippin' crazy in real life. And the reason they look like that is because you can't actually see them. Any seeing something requires that light gets reflected off of the thing you're seeing. That's how human sight works. So if something does not reflect light, but actually in fact pulls light in towards it and then never lets it go, then you simply cannot see that thing. And that's how black holes function. It's crazy. And I think it looks pretty crazy on its own. I don't really think you need to add stuff to it to make it look crazier, you know? That just seems like it's putting a hat on top of a hat. You never want to put a hat on top of a hat. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, it's just reachable, dude. Hello, Vy'keen system. Wait, did that say city? I just realized, did it just say I'm going to a place named, like, Geningo City? Yeah, Geningo City system. So it just auto has that name? Because it just said first contact, which means I'm the first person to be here. But it has the name City. Because, man, that really feels like something a player would do, you know? Whoa. Once again, love it here. One of the more spacey looking places. I thought I saw the black hole. But now I do not see it. No, that wasn't it. Oh my god, I'm so confused now. Hang on, where did I come from? Where did I go? Whoops. Almost. Oop. Oh, well, I did run into it. Apparently was still running into it? Oh my god, it's so dark I cannot tell what's going on. Here we go. So that's where I came out of, right there. Just aim down the front. And I really thought, well, I must be crazy. No, it's right there. I'm not crazy. Oh, man, space. You're hard sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I know now that I've beaten the main story, like, I don't oh, man. Hang on, that's just beautiful right there. I know I've been complaining about how it's not realistic the whole time, but that just looks beautiful. What is that noise? That was so weird. Yeah, no, I don't care who you are. That's gorgeous. Oh! 2-star system, and they're different colors. It's like either a blue or a green star and a yellow star. That is awesome. Is that a moon? That looks like a moon. No, that's a planet. Alright, either way, come in, big boy. Pardon me. The fuel at... Ah, lacking. Yes, good. Good, good. Holy wow. That is a lot of red, blue, and green stars all packed together right there. That's really cool, honestly. All right. All right, we got one up here. What's this? Visceri. Let's pop on over. Let's pop on over. Let's pop on over. Popping over, popping down, and going around. Yes, my damn phone of mine. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, someone went live. I'm not gonna say who, because it's one of the non-discussion channels that I watch. You know, they say never to talk about religion and politics at work. Well, I don't honestly believe that. But I do believe it about my entertainment streaming channel that I'm trying to run. Don't talk about religion or politics. I'm just here to play video games, joke around, and have a good time. You know, for now. Anyway. Let's head towards that beautiful black hole. God, I love plunging my starship into the universe's black hole. Yeah. Ooh, I'm flying deep through that universe's hole right now. Oh yeah, and I'm not even touching the sides. But that's because there are no sides. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so sexual right there. You know, sometimes it just happens. Oh yeah, another 850,000 light years traveled. Man, yeah, y'all ever think about like turning some better lights on in this bridge? You know, like some halogens. You got some halogens? I find it so interesting going through the different colored space clouds. How they change their colors as I go. Oh! That's so close. It's just outside range. This one's a little more than just outside range. Alright, so if those next three that I can see up there are out of range, it looks like I'm going here. Mutnin 18. Excellent, excellent. I wonder if they put names in there with numbers in it to encourage you to rename other systems in that area as like the same name but with like lower or higher numbers on them. You know, like this is Mutnin 18 I'm going to. Like maybe I could go one system over and name it Mutnin 17. But then what if I find a Mutnin 17? Oh yeah, baby. I mean, the main reason I'm flying through these black holes is because eventually I'll find One Piece. That's what they don't tell you. See, the black holes, that's the grand line. Ya-yo, ya-yo. Dreamin', don't give it up, traveler. Man, I'll tell you what, in the anime weeb community, I don't know if there's anything more divisive than that Funimation opening rap sequence. Here's my divisive statement of the day. I love that rap sequence. I used to rap along with that every week when I would watch it on Saturdays when it was airing on Adult Swim in their like anime block whenever it was or something. But yeah, man, I just remember on Saturday nights I'd make a big bowl of popcorn and like just watch like late night anime on Adult Swim. And I remember when they started airing One Piece, and I was in love with that opening rap sequence. And I was in love with the fact that it kept changing as characters were added to the cast. Like, that's opening sequence dedication, alright? And no one talks about that. It was like, shit, I gotta hurry up and load that. He's landing. Oh, Landon. Man, I was watching Dragula yesterday with a friend, and wow. You know, I watched the first. We were mainly watching season 3. Watched the first couple episodes, and I was just like, you know, this is all right. I can get why people like this. And then we watched like a couple more episodes. Like by halfway through the season, I was like, the claws were in me. I was just like, oh shit. This is happening. I'm like emotionally invested into this show now. And oh, Landon won, and I cannot express how much Landon deserved to win that. Like, legit, I think maybe... Don't want to get divisive. well, I'm talking about a drag show. Anything I say will be highly divisive. But, man, I think, you know, I would have been equally happy if Priscilla had won. Because I think if anyone deserved it besides Landon, it was Priscilla. You know, I don't know if the show made Dahlia look like more of a fucking jerk than they actually were. I don't know if that's how that went down. All I know is Dahlia didn't come off super great throughout the show. They came off super, like, hypocritical. Like, they would constantly be like, you know, don't talk behind my back. And then like talk behind everyone's back, and then they would be like super nice and supportive to someone's face, and then like on the camera they would just be like, bitch finally got over that stupid shit. It's just like, wow, what a not good person you seem to be. So I don't know if it was just like show editing, if they were just trying to, like, you know, get some drag drama in there. And I'm sure there's certainly an element of that, because, man, reality and contest shows like that just have a way of, like, you know, well, it's not they have a way, it's called editing. They edit stuff so that it seems like people did or said things that they didn't do or say. And, you know, they add musical cues in there, too. They use musical cues and oftentimes sound effect cues. If you've ever watched an episode of Hell's Kitchen, I think you know what sound effect cues they like to use. But they do all these things, you know, specific cuts at specific times and camera work to oftentimes form a narrative that wasn't actually there in real life. And, yeah. So I don't know how much of that was going on. But I will say that regardless of Dahlia's, like, personal shit and how bad of a person they, you know, seemed to be, Dahlia consistently throughout the show had some of my favorite drag pieces. Like, they are talented. You know, I'm certainly not going to take that away from them. They are very, very talented. I mean, everyone on that show was very talented, in my opinion. It seems like you have to be talented to get on the show. But, you know, it was a fun time, and I definitely think that, honestly, you know, it's not like I'm not trying to say Dahlia didn't deserve to be in the top 3. Because honestly, just like talent alone, I think Dahlia definitely deserved to make it to the top 3. I just think that Landon had a much more consistent, like, top-tier performance throughout the show. Like, Landon ended up in the bottom in the very first round, basically. Or no, not in the first one. It was the second elimination, I believe. Landon was in the bottom. Because the first one was the skydiving one. And then the second elimination, I believe, was, yeah, eat spiders. And Landon just went in on it, man. Almost like they enjoyed it. I'm just like, hey, impressive. That's some good shit. I could not have done what you just did. And then, yeah, no, they just consistently had some of the best outfits throughout the entire thing. Like, every single outfit Landon did, they brought it, and they brought it hard. And, you know, when they had a message, that message came through. And they always had a story going on. I mean, it was always well thought out and then masterfully executed. It was really, really good. I very much enjoy the show Dragula. Not so much RuPaul's Drag Race, just because I got, you know, I have issues with RuPaul. But I don't necessarily hate RuPaul because they have done a lot of good for the drag community overall by making it so mainstream, by making it seen and understood. Because with understanding something comes accepting something. You understand something, and then suddenly it's not like a scary boogeyman anymore. It's just like a normal thing now. And then that, like, you know, shoots acceptance for that thing way up. So, you know, I think that's great. Freighter warp mode. Yep, I'm getting distracted by my own talking. But yeah, so yeah, I know I don't, like, technically have to go to the core, you know? I've already beat the main story. I don't technically have to do this, but I really want to. And I think I already said this. But whatever. I'm restating it. I really want to make this journey to the core. You know, it just seems like what I should do. I don't know. I just feel it in there. We're gonna go to Ibma. You know, it's in the Kekforman region, I guess. We're gonna go there and black hole away. And I know I'm getting closer, by the way, because those black hole warp distances are getting smaller, which is exactly what they should be doing. Because it every time you go through a black hole, it's like a random system it sends you to, but it's always closer to the center than you were when you went through the black hole. So even if it's sending you all the way to the other side of the center, like the opposite side from the side you're on, it'll still be closer to the center. So the more I'm doing this and the closer to the center I get, the smaller those black hole jumps are going to be. What's going on there? Oh, overgrown planet. Sounds interesting. Ooh, I'm actually starting to see that circle get closer to the core. At least from above. Because it's actually like... that ring is actually like sort of touching that core now. I love that. Also, there's something I haven't really talked about yet. But I'm really curious about it, and that is... what's this? Ubnagarx 5. What a name. Ubnagarx 5. Let's go, baby. You know, how big is the core itself? Because, like, the core of the Milky Way, I believe, is about 15,000 light years across. And I think it's about 15,000 light years thick. But, like, this galaxy is enormous. So, like, is this... I think this core might be up to 100,000 light years across. Which means once we get sub 100,000 light years, we would be, like, in the core. But I mean, hey, we'll see. Well, actually, if it's 100,000 light years across, and the point that we're moving towards is like the core, so like the very center of it, then it would be sub 50,000 light years we'd be in the core. But hey, we'll see. Oh my god, when are these gonna end? There we go. Sort of. Like, man, I thought space was supposed to be empty. Like, get the hell out of the way, rocks. Jesus. Yellow. Oh, my hyperdrive has fuel problems. A couple of fuel issues going on, guys. The main issue being that there is none. What are we at? 60%? Yeah. From here on out, I'm using warp hyper cores. Eventually, I'm gonna have to make more of them, though. Because it's gonna refill the hyperdrive tank 9 times. How many I have? Mogawa Hex. Oh man, are we doing it? Are we gonna go under 400,000 with this jump? And we got Sumaru beef. Sumaru beef. Let's do it. Let's rocket, do it, rocket, move it, to it, through it. Besides, there's a small part of me, honestly, that wants to go to the center manually like this because maybe there's a little bit of hope inside of me that I can still meet Apollo there. I'm sorry, not Polo. Apollo. Maybe I have that tiny bit of hope in me still that when I get there I can meet up with Apollo. At least talk to him again. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was a super collider. for half a second I was gonna be like, yay, no flippin' asteroids in my way. And then immediately, there they are. No, Bobby, you're not allowed to just float around in empty space. You have to deal with infinite fucking rocks. Just constantly being in your way. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm just gonna turn around. So every time I go through a black hole, it shaves off like 5 to 10,000 light years. So, like, honestly, it's a pretty solid method. I'm gonna try and go further. Ah, here we go. Whoa. Here we go. Resend. So I'm wondering if there's anything I should even do in the other galaxy I found. Because I'm sitting here thinking, you know, there's more people in the Euclid galaxy, and most of it is still not explored, so... Like, is there really even a reason to go to a galaxy that, as far as I'm aware, is only being explored by me? Like, as far as I know, like, I think it gives everybody their own galaxy, doesn't it? I think everybody who beats the main story gets their own galaxy. I could be wrong. I've also heard, but, like, I constantly get false information on this game, so I cannot verify this, but I heard that, because apparently at some point, when they added more galaxies, people had a lot of trouble getting back into Euclid after they left. Apparently that used to be an issue, and there used to be a way to get back involving the space anomaly, and, like, it was all this crazy stuff. But now it's just, like, now it just connects the portal networks, you know? It used to be like portal networks were like specific to the galaxy you were in, but now they're just the same. So it got rid of that issue. But at the time that was the case, where it was hard to get back into Euclid, I read a thing that said you have to keep going to the center of each new galaxy you get to, and eventually it's a 255 galaxy round trip, it said. But eventually, after you've seen all 255 galaxies, you will end up back in the Euclid galaxy. And I was just like, man, that's rough. Luckily, it's not the case anymore. But, like, shit, that does sound really rough. If that was ever the case, then, man, what were they thinking? But all I know is this is the Euclid Galaxy, and the other galaxy I have access to is called the Acentum Galaxy, or the Icentum Galaxy. I call it Acentum because Icentum sounds like a pun. Like, I sent them to that galaxy. So I don't usually say that one. But yeah. Feels like I'm getting, like, so close. But I can see, like, clearly by the numbers how far away I still am. So that closeness I'm feeling, like, that's all it is. It's a feeling. Ooh. Uklad Timnan. Uklad Timnan. Alright. Okay. So yeah, I've also been considering, like, how much longer am I gonna play No Man's Sky here, like, stream wise. You know, like, what's there left for me to do on stream, especially if I plan on, like, doing other streams of it, like a weekend stream of it or something. You know, just more of a chill stream at that point. But you know, at that point I can do anything. But I feel like for these weekday streams, like, I have to have a purpose. I have to have a function. It can't just be me roaming around doing things I want to do. That's why my purpose and function right now is getting to the center. But, like, I don't know if I'm gonna have a reason to let's play it, you know, every weekday morning after I get to the center. I think it's going to be I want to get to the center, and I want to go to... I've heard of cities, like, player-built cities on this. So I want to find that shit. It seems awesome. And, yeah, I need to look over Game Pass again. But I honestly feel like I definitely may want to, do, like I said, a fully voiced playthrough of Final Fantasy VIII. That's right, me reading every single line of dialogue that comes on the screen. In voices, because I can do voices. You know, some of them may sound similar, but that's fine, because others do not. Man, let me tell you something. It's a Final Fantasy game. And motherfuckers talk in Final Fantasy games. It is nuts. It's nuts how much they talk. But what can I say? I love JRPGs. At least old school ones. Not all of them. Certainly not even most of them. I've played a select few JRPGs in my life. I really just pretty much aim for the best ones, and Final Fantasies in general fit into that category. They're quintessential, man. Oh, my hyperdrive has no fuel. Didn't notice it fast enough. Man. Yeah, it went down to 8, but that's at 100%. But yeah, fine. Oh my god. You know, like I said, the circle's getting a lot closer to the center, at least from the top and bottom. Because look, out on the sides, I feel like I'm as far away as I have been. I feel like the circle, when it's on the left-right axis, up there in the top corner, like it's just not moving, I feel like. That's where I'm going to get, like, to within 100,000 light years, and it's suddenly going to jump over to right next to it. And that just feels lazy. Because according to this, you know, I'm about 400,000 light years from center. According to where that circle is, that would put the width of this galaxy from center over to one side. I don't know what that's called. But from center all the way left, that would be like maybe 1 million light years, which would put this galaxy at 2 million light years wide. And I know that's not right. I know for a fact that is incorrect from other calculations that I've made based off distances that I've moved. Oh, are you serious? Hey! Here's one. Is Kimry Yersh. Alright. I'm gonna go to the bathroom right quick. So I will be right back. Oop. Alright, I'm back. Oop. Oop. Being weird. Keep getting stuck on the floor. Just does that sometimes, I don't know why. Just get caught on the floor randomly. No thanks. Bro, are we flying in this black hole together or what? Whoa! We did fly into the black hole together. Well, I hope you end up somewhere safe, friend. Hope it doesn't break too many of your technologies, because none of, I mean, as far as I can tell, none of the NPCs are smart enough to put the ship's techs in its tech slots. Like, at the beginning of the game, you know, all my exosuit techs were just right on that main page. For some reason. You know, when I found my ship, all my ship's techs were on the first page, the general page, for some reason. It's like, I don't know why the NPCs aren't smart enough to use it. Whoa! Literally loaded me plowing through. See, look, what? Every time. It literally, the game does not know how to load me into a new system, not in a fucking asteroid field. It is ridiculous. What's your deal? You look cool. A cloudy planet. Doesn't look super cloudy. A verdant planet. You look nice and green, not in a healthy way. Yeah, irradiated planet. It's like it's either that or toxic. Polymimk. These names. Lucal 1. Hey, I found a 1 there. Never actually seen one of the numbered ones like at a 1. That was the first time. Opanov 16. Opanov. This is a Russian system. It says it's controlled by the Gek, but we know who's really in charge of Opanov. Alright. Oof. Excuse me. That coffee. Isn't it always the coffee? Ooh, an affluent trading system. Man, I'm pretty sure I hit that. I'm not trying to sell myself out or anything, but I'm selling myself out. I definitely hit that. Definitely hit that asteroid. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know if I want to go Final Fantasy VIII. Like, right away. Because I know I'll have fun. And, like, with all due respect, like, I think I'm, like, really good at that game. Like, truly. I'm very good at Final Fantasy VIII. I have broken that game many times. And I know how to break it very early on. I mean, you only need the first couple of GFs and some abilities that they have to completely just wreck it. And also, it'd be really fun to do all the voice acting and stuff too. But I also have I have access to Child of Light, which when it came out was like supposedly a really good like turn-based RPG game, but it's not quite turn-based. It has like an active time element. It seems really fun, honestly, based off what I heard of it. Like what I was reading, it seems like a really fun mechanic. Seems like there's a couple really fun mechanics, actually, that really mix up the combat in that game. And the benefit of that game is I've never played it before, so it would be like a first-time run-through of the game. Getting pretty far. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that coming. This one's closer, though. Oh, wow. In range by 7 light years. That's a little banana. That's just a little bit of banana. Dude, those black holes seem to be, like, generally in very much the same positions all the time. You know? Do you need to destroy more sentinels? I need to survive more souls on Extreme Worlds. I'll be doing more of that soon. I still have no idea how to get any of these. I've discovered all species on a couple of planets, and it has just never registered them. Never has registered that, like, it counted that, you know? So I'm just like, I don't know. Honestly, can't remember why I opened that menu, so I just moved on. Ooh, I like that. I like the black around that center. I don't know. There's still all the weird light effects that it gives it. I don't know what those light effects are. It seems weird. But also, the black holes in this game operate far less like black holes than they do wormholes. So honestly, I feel like they should leave black holes in the game and just rename them wormholes. That's just my opinion. Oh, why do you do this? Why are you so bad at this? Oh, good. Of course, that's a paradise planet. Well, I'm just gonna go in here real quick. You can talk to my agent if you'd like to take that stuff you just scanned. I really hate that they do a scan first. Because there was, I don't know, maybe it's random, but there was one time where they did the subspace scan, and it straight up said, like, no valuable cargo found, and they just came for me anyway. I was like, yeah, I ain't got shit on me. And then it was just like, you know, hostile ships inbound anyway. And I was just like, well, that's stupid. What's the point of the scan if they attack you regardless? Like, it just really, it had left a bad taste in my mouth. Because it really just seemed like the scan was just a stupid waste of time. Whoops. It's possible I was looking at somewhere else on the screen for a second. Here we go. Panera Uglue. Oh, man. Panera Uglue here. Holy macaroni and cheese. I feel like a black hole's always like in the same position from where I come, like where I land in the system and come out of my ship. It's like always just sort of up and straight in front of me. Now, not always, but most of the time. Thank God you've arrived, most of my freighter. I still don't quite understand how calling it around everywhere doesn't, like, cost me anything. Like, warp fuel-wise. And also how it has a 3,000 light-year jump distance and I just called it, like, 500,000 light-years. You know? I don't get that, but it doesn't really bother me, because it makes for smooth gameplay mechanics. And really, I think that's the more important thing, where this is concerned. And I will say we're making good progress, though. We're really moving through space here. You go, Rita Zuisu. Rita Zuisu. Oh, God. I just realized I have not been talking. So yeah, I don't know, I'm indecisive about the next game I'm gonna play. Which I've been on and off talking about, like, this whole time. But that's fine. Because, like, it is legit. Like, I'm just probably gonna have to mull it over for a bit. Because I've got at least a couple more streams with this left. And then after that, I'm going to move on to another game. But then by the time you see me play this again, man, I will be probably a lot farther in this. Because this is probably still the game I'm going to be playing in my off time for a bit. You know, especially if I'm going to move on to Final Fantasy VIII, which it's feeling like, you know, based off if I'm just doing, like, you know, what's the game I want to do most, it's Final Fantasy VIII. But again, that's because I know what I'm getting from that. It's an experience I really, really enjoy. Definitely flew right through that. Alright. Whoa. Rainy planet with aggressive sentinels. Hey. No, I want the one that just has the platinum in it. Give it. Look at this. Everywhere you go, can't just be empty space. No, space is not empty, my dude. Like, really think about it, you know? How does it make sense that space could be empty? No, I'm sorry. Look, I understand why they did what they did. I'm no fool. I'm just an idiot. But an idiot is not a fool. I don't know how much sense that made, but alright. Better. Better. Oop. There we go. Some weird shadows on the walls. Wow, dude, sometimes I really end up in an area that is just dense with those blue, green, and red stars. Like, just crazy. Oh, hyperdrive fuel. Gonna have to get some storm crystals. And let me tell you, the antimatter hypercell, or whatever that thing is called, is just like so much easier to make than a regular warp fuel cell. I don't understand. It's supposed to be like, oh, it's a hard to get resource, but it's really not. You know, it's really not hard to get storm crystals. There we go, 3019 light years. Storm crystals, shockingly not hard to get, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. You know, you get some, it's one storm crystal and one antimatter, and makes one thing that fills up the drive 100%. As opposed to an antimatter and chromatic metal, I believe, some other type of thing. And then you have to use condensed carbon to make the container for it. Oh no, that's what it was. Condensed carbon and I think chromatic metal. It makes the container for it. And then you put the antimatter in the container to make the thing. So it's 2 steps, requires more resources, and then only fills up 20% of the hyperdrive fuel. Like, the hypercell is just way better in all directions. I think what I'm going to do is make a ton of them, is what I'm saying. I'm just going to make a bootload of the things. Because I have an antimatter reactor maker thing. I have a thing that makes antimatter. You know, just while I'm hanging out. You know, I'm just chilling out, doing my thing in my base or whatever, and then I just walk back up to it, and it's like, here's 20 antimatter, or 10, or however many. And I'm like, ah, yes, good. Thank you. So then I could just, you know, combine that with, just go get 20 or so storm crystals. Been to, more than enough planets with some heavy storms. As far as I can tell, they are not difficult to find. Honestly, I just like regions like this in general that are just densely packed with stars. In fact, the closer I get to the core, honestly, if it's, you know, if it's realistic, the closer I get to the core, the more densely packed the stars will get. But, I mean, you know, a lot of the other stuff in this game is not so realistic, so I don't know why I would expect that random aspect to be. Like, I mean, I'm clearly not actually going through spiral arms, right? Like, it shows that there's spiral arms up there, which implies vast areas of far less star density. But that doesn't seem to be the case anywhere. So, how did I look at that edge on like that? Progress, progress, progress. So yeah, the other thing I want to do on stream here, besides moving towards the core, the other thing I want to do in this game is get some of those warp coordinates. And see if I can find me some player cities. Because I am so, like, extremely fascinated by this. I really, really, like, so badly want to go to one of these places and see it, like, overrun with players. Like, I'm sure they'll all be moving at, like, 1 frame every 10 seconds or whatever, but who cares? Oh my god. So, I'm looking at our dog running around in the backyard through the window, and the snow out there is, like, so deep. It's, like, over halfway up her legs. She's having a time, though, man. She's, like, running around. She loves the snow. Dog is crazy. Gosh, she's like a brown blur. I'll find you, Apollo, I promise. Man, I don't know why I've become so attached to Apollo. That guy was like a jerk. Sorry, that robot was a jerk when I first called him. Just like... Hey, why are you wasting my time? Oh, Artemis? Ugh. Tell him he owes me $20. Poor Artemis. You know? And now poor Apollo, like, maybe he got reset. Because, like, Nada and Polo, when I went back to talk to them, they seemed to be reacting to me like I was new and I just showed up. But they knew I was a traveler. And they asked me again, are they first? Are they last? And, like, I felt like for the first time, I really understood the question. You know, it's just a way of asking, like, are you at the beginning of the game? Like, is this your first? Is this like your first run through of you know, going through the galaxy and talking to us and like doing things? Or are you last, as in, is your second or more time around? You know, the Traveler reset the thing, and I don't know if that's what all the Travelers do. Are the Travelers just resetting the Atlas to keep the thing going? Is that what's happening? Because it didn't, like, delete everything and start everything over. You know, it's I mean, clearly, like, nothing changed when I reset the Atlas. I find that interesting. I don't know exactly what happened when I reset the Atlas, but, you know, I don't think I'm supposed to know, at least not from the text of the game. Or at least I think it's supposed to be difficult to figure out. Maybe I'll look it up at some point, just because I'm lazy. See if there's like an online explanation that anyone wrote up. Or a video someone made. That can explain it to stupid and or lazy people like myself. God, where do we start at light year wise? Today, I think it was about 488,000. We started at. It's just under 500k. Oh, what am I at now? Am I under 300k yet? So ballistically far away. That didn't make any sense. It's just so far. Woodcore system. I just want to call my capital ship into a place that's not in the middle of an asteroid field. That's all I want. I don't like asteroids clogging up my landing area. It looks bad. A lot of black holes right around here. Let's go to Ishankazaz 1. Ishankazaz. Interesting names. Always in this game with interesting names. Never a not interesting name, which I appreciate. It's always leaving me guessing. Like, how do I say this? What's the proper way to pronounce this? What did the auto-generated language algorithm in this think would be the proper way to say this? Well, I'll tell you what, now that I've started leaving just leaving those two scanners broken, man. A lot less resource usage going on. Even though every black hole jump didn't break something, it wasn't every single jump. In my defense, I couldn't really tell when something was going to break. It was just sometimes nothing would break. For some reason. Man, what do these Korvax do all day besides... I mean, when I'm not doing this, you know? When I'm not doing this, what the hell do they do all day? Also, my frigates and the crew of my capital ship, like, they never take days off. Also, I don't pay them, to my knowledge. I'm a terrible boss. Gigdalrius. Gigdalrius. Let's just go. We are under 300,000 light years. Now that is progress. That is straight up progress. Yes, black hole discovered. I should very much hope so. Oop. Oh. Whatever. Sometimes you approach it crooked. Oh well. Some planets just look so much cooler than other planets from space. Well, that one doesn't. That looks really pixelated. There we go. Oof. I'm also considering, like, maybe doing a little bit... You know, was that the core? Yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but it looks like not bright at all and very distant. That was weird. Hyperdrive has no fuel. Just constantly make that mistake. It's fine. Can you? I never quite understand what the path to the core is trying to do, because it very rarely is going towards the core. It's always like shooting up and down in weird directions. And I'm just like, what is up with that? Oh yeah, man. Dude, my past couple jumps have been like fat. They have been, like, my last 3 jumps, I think, have been over 3,000 light years. Which is pretty much as far as I can go. As I'm sure I've talked about 100 times. Still wish it would show my freighter here. Like doing the same thing my ship does, like just whooshing along. Those giant engines it has. I'm really interested to see if they did anything special for, like, being at the core of a galaxy, you know? Or is it just going to be like the rest of the galaxy, or is it actually going to be like I'm in the core of a galaxy? That's the thing I'm really interested to know. And I wonder if it's always been doing all this weird artifacting on this screen, because, like, I swear I did not notice it at first, but now it's like every single time it does it in the exact same way. Which I find odd. Agimus Docum. Made it. I'll never not fly up there using the jetpack. It's like, why run up the stairs? God. What's this jetpack even for? I'm gonna be running upstairs. Oh, it tells me this is my current location. Like, yes, thank you. I am aware. Excuse me, sir. Your house has one of my bathrooms in it. Are you aware? Man, it's kind of Mitch Hedberg, man. One of the greatest comedians of all time. He had that fucking bit about, you know, why do people selling houses tell you how many bedrooms it has? Isn't it kind of up to me how many bedrooms the house has? You know, this kitchen is a bedroom. This bathroom, that's a bedroom. One of my bedrooms is in my neighbor's house. Excuse me, sir. Your house has one of my bedrooms. Are you aware? It's just the stupidest bit. All of his bits were so dumb, but they're at the same time so good. He was truly a once in an Earth. There's one Mitch Hedberg for every Earth out there. And when they're born on that planet, and they die on that planet. It's like a universal law. Just, I don't know. There's something to say about jokes that are just like really, really simple. or like even so simple to the point that they're not jokes, but they're really only funny because like you've never really thought about it before, you know? It's never really been pointed out to you before that that's actually a very strange thing. Those can be some of the best jokes. But one of my favorite comedians back in the day was Demetri Martin. You know, he had himself some stand-up specials on Comedy Central. He was really funny. He was honestly more of a performer, like a straight-up performer than a comedian, kind of like Dane Cook. The way Dane Cook doesn't have, like, jokes per se, but he has good performance bits, you know? He has, like, little bits that are funny because he's the one performing them. Like, nothing Dane Cook says is ever funny if you say it or if you hear your friend say it. But when you hear Dane Cook say it, it can be pretty funny. You know, it's kind of like that with Demetri Martin. Like, he just had a particular style. And, like, really, his comedy style was just pointing out simple facts that a lot of people don't think about. And just kind of being like, that's pretty weird. And then also he would do performances where he would, like, you know, play a harmonica while writing words with both of his hands at the same time. Like, doing big sweeping motions with two hands simultaneously to, like, piecemeal words together. Like, I don't know, it's stuff that's, like, hard to do, but it's entertaining to watch, you know? He's more of an entertainer. But I don't know why I brought that up, honestly, because Mitch Hedberg, to me, is more of a comedian. Even though I may have just said that he's more of an entertainer to me, but no. No, because when I tell jokes that Mitch Hedberg told, I think I can make them funny. Whereas I can't do that with Dane Cook. Really, all this to say that comedy is just a wonderful world. I love comedy. I think humor is one of the most versatile things. And I wish more people felt that way. You know? I never really appreciate people that are like, no, comedy should have no limitations. It's like, you know, why? Why do you feel like that, though? Are you that you won't be able to thrive under those limitations? Because that just seems... that just feels to me like such a lack of creativity. And I don't know, maybe I'm just used to so many entertainment mediums that have so many limitations. Like most video games, you know? Most video games, there's infinite amounts of things you cannot do in that video game. But you figure out what you can do within those limitations. I feel like comedy's the same thing. You know, every comedy has limitations on it. You know, if there's a bigger, better, or not better, if there's a bigger, like, grosser way you could tell a joke, or a more offensive way you could tell a joke, but you choose not to do that, anytime you choose not to do that, you have put limitations on a joke. Like, it's not really a difficult concept. So it's all about being funny within those limitations, you know, that you, and more importantly, your target audience are comfortable with. Because, like, at the end of the day, if no one thinks you're funny, no matter how, you know, no matter how many comedy records you sold, or how many tours you've done, how many comedies you've been in, how rich you are, if you go on stage and start telling what you feel are jokes and everyone boos you off stage, well, you have failed at comedy in that instance, you know? The goal of comedy is to make people laugh. If people are not laughing, you have not successfully targeted your jokes toward that audience. And I feel like there's a lot of old, burnt-out comedians nowadays who love to just complain about that, like it's the audience's fault that the audience doesn't find them funny. And it's like, it's not the audience's responsibility to find you funny. Like, you have to... It says large ship. What large ship? There was nothing. Anyway. Yeah, it's not the audience's job to find you funny. It's your job to figure out what that audience will find funny. And use those jokes on them. Like... And there's just all these, like, 60-year-old comedians that are like, yeah, I mean, I was funny back in the day, but nowadays everyone's so sensitive that every time I tell a joke, it's a controversy. It's like, yeah, well, maybe get better jokes then. Like, it's not that hard. You stopped evolving your comedy, apparently. And what happens when you stop evolving your art form is it becomes outdated. That happens with every art form. Why should comedy be different? But you have these guys who've never actually thought critically about comedy. They just happen to be funny. And they happen to be in that industry. And they just think they know things about it because of that. But it's like, you've never actually thought critically about what comedy is, how it's an art form, why people like it, why do people laugh, what makes people laugh. Like, you know, ask yourself these questions. Think about these things. As a comedian, it's kind of your job to do that, is it not? I just feel like the world is full of people that just, like, half-ass all the time, don't actually know what they're talking about. Those are usually the people in charge. It's very frustrating. That was a weird tangent that I just went on there. I have a lot of feelings about comedy, what can I say? It's important to me. It looks like I crashed through a couple of things. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, didn't actually check the thing. Nope, we're good. Let's go, Freighter Baiter. Oh my god, guys, I think we did it. I think we've done it. We're about 250,000 light years, which would put us 2/3 of the way to the core from where we started. Oh. I've traveled roughly 66.6% of the distance to where I'm going. And considering how much distance I've covered, that just feels like a ginormous accomplishment. Let me tell ya. The Parathk 2 system. What a name. Normally it's like, oh wow, interesting name, or unique, or cool, but every once in a while it's just like, man, what a name that is. Once in a while I hit some space that looks so cool. Again, usually just not realistic at all, but this looks cool. First off, it feels way less like I'm in clouds in this system, which is always a positive for me, and I like. Are there usually colors shooting into it like that from out here? That looked crazy. That looked crazy. Now, I do want to say there is a new type of comedy developing alongside what I was saying earlier. Because most of what I was saying earlier kind of mostly to only applies to traditional comedians that are working in that, like, live format, you know, where you kind of have to tune yourself to the audience that frequents those scenes, that goes, like, to live shows and stuff. Whereas there's a new kind of comedy sort of developing on the internet, which is actually kind of what I'm doing right now. Which is just sort of being a comedy-esque personality online, and you just do your thing, and eventually, hopefully, if you're funny to people, you will attract an audience that, you know, instead of you having to fine-tune to an audience that is there, you sort of do the comedy you want to do, and that attracts an audience, hopefully. Now, obviously, it doesn't always work out, you know. Not everyone can hold an audience, and it's not always clear how one is supposed to go about doing it. We know there's trends. Obviously, there's data that shows trends, like doing certain things will increase your chance of success, but nothing's a guarantee. But that is just a new sort of way of doing comedy that is developing, that is sort of unique to the internet. You know, more of like a piecemeal audience that you can make, collected around the types of jokes that you like to make. Now, obviously, big comedians can still do that. Like, if you do a comedy special, you know, people who like it are going to watch it. People who don't like it aren't going to watch it. And obviously, the people who don't like it are... Some people who don't like it will watch it and complain about it. What the... Those are just really close together. Yeah, which that is a thing I don't fully understand. Store. Let's go to the store. Yeah, I don't understand people who like I get if there's something like really offensive that was said. Like, when you're doing offensive comedy, you really have to be careful. Like, you have to do it in particular ways. Or you're just gonna piss like a bunch of people off. Like, that's just the reality of it. And honestly, comedy that aims to piss a bunch of people off is just incredibly stupid. That's like the lowest form of comedy, in my opinion. It's like scraping the bottom of the barrel, garbage comedy that I don't think is worth most anyone's time. Like, if your whole thing is like, yeah, I enjoy that this pisses people off, and you're just saying things just to be offensive, like, you're not allowed to then complain later that, oh, everyone's acting so offended. Like, yeah, you made that your goal. You know? So, of course, people are offended. You said a bunch of really offensive things. But, you know. I'm still talking about this. Man, I'm just rambling. Like, this isn't, like, something that's relevant to me Like, this didn't come up in my life recently. I haven't really been watching any stand-up comedians for like a while. Can't remember the last time I watched a stand-up special. So I don't know why I'm even talking about it. I guess it just came to mind somehow. I wonder if there's a supermassive black hole at the center. I wonder if that's what's at the galactic core, and you like go through that and it takes you to a random galaxy. I mean, honestly, shit, if that's what it is, I might do it. I mean, why not? Oh, I'd have to fix so much stuff again. Oh my god, I might not. The shit that was really annoying was that exosuit. I mean, I would learn from it. Like, I would switch to my crappiest multi-tool beforehand if I did it again. But I would still have to fix all the stuff in my exosuit. Like, all those techs would have to be fixed. It would be brutal. All those techs would have to be fixed again. It would be brutal. Gotta fuel up. Oh yeah, technology recharge, baby. We're going together to the center. Oh, under 250,000 light years. Hell yeah. Mainly, I just want to know what that big light is at the center. I want to find out what that light is that I've been going towards. Yeah, I don't see any more appearing up there. Let's go here. Like, why would there be a light in the center, right? Because it looks like, I don't know if it's supposed to look like one pinpoint of light, which to be fair it doesn't, really, compared to the other lights around me. Like all the stars around me, those look like pinpoints of light. But that looks like it could be like a mass of stuff, which is what emits light in the real galactic core. It's like radiation and like light flying off from, like light that managed to not get sucked in by the black holes, all of the many black holes in the center, including the supermassive one. Yeah, it's just like that stuff and radiation like lighting up a bunch of dust around there, and that's why the center of the Milky Way glows the way it does. I'm curious if it's going to be a similar thing here. If it's just going to be like a very bright region of space with like stars in it. Because that would be pretty cool. That'd be legit. And like none of the planets are safe to be on. That would also be pretty realistic. And that planet off to the left of the black hole back there looked kind of like the moon. Man, I really love the planets that have bioluminescent stuff on them. Like, I've seen at least one Paradise planet that has that, like, bioluminescence on it. Like plant life. It's really cool. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Alright. Fuck. We made a lot of progress today. Like a serious chunk of progress. Very, very happy about that. I'm gonna go check up there real quick, but I'm fairly confident that I think I'm gonna like hit the core the next stream. So I should also get some... Should also get those coordinates ready for the Galactic Portal Network. Because I'm going to want to go around and look at some interesting stuff. That's probably going to be the last thing I do. Go to some popular locations online using that portal network. Yeah, 228,000 light years from galactic core. That is awesome. We moved 400 and... 260,000 light years, because I thought it was 488 that I started at. Now I'm at 228. So yeah, that's 260,000 light years I moved today. That is amazing. Maybe I'll try to take it down to under 200,000 light years in my downtime if I get the chance. But if not, I don't get the chance, you know, but we'll see. Either way, thanks for coming and watching this. If you watched it on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good time. You know, I hope you had a good time. And see you on the flip side. Or tomorrow. Goodbye! Thanks for listening to my rant about comedians. Goodbye.